Well, hello everyone and welcome to our Facebook Live here on Friday, January 5th, 2004. Let me begin by just wishing everybody a happy and healthy new year. I hope you had an amazing fourth quarter. For some of you, this was your first opportunity to really discover the power of what happens on Amazon between October, November, December, and again here still a little bit in January. For those of you that have been through this period before, I am hoping that this year was as powerful as perhaps some years in the past. I can tell you at this point that this was the single biggest holiday shopping season in the history of the internet, and it is exciting to be part of that experience. I've got a few things of importance that I want to cover here with you on this session. And then, of course, at the end, I'm happy to take any questions that you might have. I also want to welcome all of our newest Internet Mastery members that have joined our community. We are super excited to have you, and we know that this journey is one that is going to be powerful and rewarding. So today I want to talk with you a little bit about what I've found to be the differences between the people who really achieve that next level of success, those that are struggling a little bit, and those that ultimately give up. There are some key differentiators between them. And as we begin this new year, so often people make New Year's resolutions and they talk about all the great things they're going to do. And I'm guessing that there's actually some of you that have set New Year's resolutions and at this point have already broken some of them. That's just the normal way of how life works. So rather than make New Year's resolutions that you're set up to not be able to fulfill, why not just set specific, identifiable, and obtainable goals that if you follow a process, you can measure your results to see how you're doing. So as we begin this new year and we start over, if you will, in terms of our journey now and march towards 10 months from now, it'll come here like this, by the way. I want you to take note of a few things. The first common denominator of those of our Internet Mastery community members that achieve the highest levels of success is that they fully engage in this community and in this process. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is for each and every one of our Amazon sellers, whether it's a newest member to our community or if it's somebody that's been with us for years, to stay connected to this Facebook group, to watch the videos, to participate in the group coaching, to actively ask questions and engage. I see some of the emails that come to the support system, and I can tell you that almost every single question is answered in those, in these videos, in these trainings, in these posts that are put here. For example, we had several questions over the last few days asking about the new prep center address. Why is there a new prep center address? And yet last week, I spent some time going over with you the fact that we have expanded our Internet Mastery headquarters. We have a new location that we have moved into excitedly this week, and therefore the address has updated and changed as it should. But if you watched these sessions and you participated in these trainings, then you wouldn't have to ask those questions. And of course, as always, those of you that watch these sessions probably know all of this anyway, but it's still a good reminder. So I think the first key to success is to actively engage in our community, to ask questions, to recognize that there's no dumb questions, no silly questions, no bad questions, only questions. And this Internet Mastery community is here to help and support you and for you to understand that you're not in it alone. Remember, everybody who sells on Amazon started at zero at one point. Whether you've sold $1, whether you've sold $1 million, or whether you've sold $10 million, or heck, maybe you haven't sold anything yet. Everybody starts at the same place. And I think it was pretty awesome to watch some of the Facebook Live that Camille and Corinne did a few days ago where they interviewed a gentleman named Robert. And not nearly as many people commented or watched that as I would have hoped. Robert has sold more than $14 million on Amazon in the last 5 years. Robert had never sold on Amazon successfully before becoming a member of this community. So we have so much information and so much insight to be able to provide to people, but at the same time, we don't do the work for you. And I recognize that there's a lot and it can be overwhelming. But at the same time, as much as you want to get out of this business, we are here to provide that for you and to be able to give you that insight. We're also constantly improving our e-library, our technology, our support structure, and looking for ways to make it bigger and better and more supportive for each of you. But I think the first characteristic is to participate. The second advice that I would give you would be to be open and coachable. Now, this is easier said than done. Sometimes what you're asked to do might seem out of the norm. It might not feel like it makes sense. But if you understand that all of our training, all of our information is designed based on hundreds of millions of dollars in combined experience to do only one thing, and that's to help you get results. It's to move you forward. So in the middle of doing it, it might not feel that way, and it might seem harder than we think it should be. Remember, if it was easy, everyone would do it. No one ever said it would be easy. I wouldn't say it's hard. I wouldn't say it's like being an electrician where you go out in the field and you risk getting electrocuted every day. That's hard. Being on the front line of it, as being a nurse, that's hard. Some copy and paste, maybe some arthritis and carpal tunnel in your fingers, but not so bad. I wouldn't call it hard. I would say that it's a learning experience and a learning opportunity. And I think it's important to always remember that you're always looking for improvement. You're always looking to learn more, except that you can never know everything. As soon as you feel like you know everything and that you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You can never know everything. And so if you ever meet someone who knows everything, they probably don't know nearly as much as they think they do. And so I'd be cautious about taking advice from them. I would say to you that when you're new, there's a lot to learn. When you've sold 1 million or 2 million, there is still a lot to learn. Folks, there are people right now who are selling $5, $6, and $7 million a month on Amazon. A month, not a year, not for their career, but monthly sales at 5 and 6 and 7 million. So we all are learning. Everybody in our community is learning. You're learning, I'm learning. The community is getting stronger, but you need to be open and coachable and follow as closely as you can. We have this system that we put in place for years. It was a 6-step system. I've turned it into 8 steps. Step 1 is source the product. Step 2 is see if it's on Amazon. Step 3 is determine the profitability. Step 4 is make sure it's selling. 5 is list the item before you buy it. 6 is buy it. 7 is send it to the prep center. And 8 is let the prep center forward it to Amazon. That's the process. It's not complex. Of course, you get to choose how closely you follow the process. One of the things I think that is always fascinating to me is how some people, not all, but some people will get off to this really fast start. They're elite members. They've got 4 months of unlimited prep services. They just haphazardly, they're just throwing as much stuff against the wall to see what sticks. And they sell tons and tons on Amazon. And then what happens? They get smarter. They start to think more. They start to analyze more. They know what they're doing more. They don't have as much unbridled enthusiasm. And the fact that they now have to pay for prep credits makes them question whether or not they should use the prep center. So they start sending things to their house. And you know what happens? Sales go down. They don't understand why they were doing well and then it started to slow down? Well, the answer is that you're probably not doing the same things that you did when you were achieving those ultimate levels of success. So number 2 is to be open and coachable and follow the process. Number 3 is to, whenever possible, use the Prep Center. You know, we made it through a very interesting period in our development of our Internet Mastery community. From 2016 until 2022, we had what I would call a very primitive version of a Prep Center. It was complex, it was confusing, it was not technologically advanced, but it did what it needed to do at that time. It solved a purpose. Well, in 2022, we launched the Internet Mastery Prep Center as you know it today, and we spent almost 2 years in that prep facility. And it was an amazing learning experience. The fact is, we're still learning every day. You're still learning every day because some of you still continue to send items to the Prep Center without a plan. Maybe you'll set a New Year's goal this year not to ever do that again. But anyway, to make my point, we this week have moved into our all-new global headquarters, and it is multiples and multiple times larger in size, in capabilities, in the processing of the orders. Everything is smoother now, and we have all of these new systems that we have implemented internally to offset how it was being done before. It just simply means that items will come in faster and leave faster. So if you're using the Prep Center, then keep sending items in. If you're not utilizing the Prep Center the way you should because you have to pay for credits, I'm not sure what to tell you. But I can say that if you live in the United States and you're selling in the United States, you only have 2 options if you want to scale your business. There's only 2. Option number 1 is hire an employee or employees, rent your own warehouse, and buy all your own materials, be a boss, and manage that whole process. That is the only way to scale. Or use the Prep Center. Long term, the Prep Center will cost you significantly less than if you had to do it on your own. Plus, if you enjoy the travel and the flexibility and the freedom and not having to manage employees, then you wouldn't want to do that part of the business anyway. Now, I understand that perhaps you enjoy doing the prep work, perhaps that you're only selling a little bit, and so it's okay to do the prep yourself. And of course, we're going to support you to do however you want to do your business. We're here to make suggestions, and you're here to implement the business in the best way that is possible for you. But if you understand that the more you sell, the more you prep, the more you prep, the more you sell. There comes a point where you can't do it all yourself. And so getting back to the basics, getting back to your core of really what drives the business, the Prep Center could possibly be one of the best technologies that's ever been added and implemented for Amazon sellers. And I go back and forth in what is the best technology because there's so much going on in Internet Mastery right now. So you want to utilize the Prep Center. The next thing that you want to do is you want to surround yourself with like-minded, positive people. How do you do that? Well, number 1, you attend the Facebook group coaching sessions like this, and we talked about that. But the second way you do that is to participate in in-person events. You know, when I sit back and I watch some of the videos of our 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20 events that we held in person, it is incredible. The atmosphere, the experience. And look, virtual is great. We're virtual right now. And so many of our successful students have joined us in this virtual world. But there's nothing that surpasses getting together in person. We have InternetMastery.live in Miami coming up on February 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's always interesting to me that once we announce there's a virtual ticket, all of a sudden people that had in-person tickets have something come up. Now, don't take it personally if that's you. I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying that it's always fascinating to me how that happens. We always put that in our budget. We know that as soon as we announce the virtual ticket, a half a dozen people just mysteriously, even though the reasons are valid, I'm not picking on you, just can't make it. And so I'm glad we have that virtual option. But if you are able to make it to Miami on February 3rd, 4th, and 5th, it's going to be an incredible event. If you can't make it in person, get yourself a virtual ticket. I can share with you now that the guest speaker that we're going to be bringing in is a young man named Lou Ferrigno. If you're not familiar with Lou, Lou is the Incredible Hulk. Lou was in I Love You Man, the movie, King of Queens. He's crossed genres. He's been in show business now for 50 plus years. And he's flying in, and he's going to talk with you about persistence and perseverance and commitment. Here's a young man that at growing up was deaf and became one of the most iconic bodybuilders in the history of the world. Became the Incredible Hulk. Didn't speak because he sounded strange, because he was deaf. And so just the opportunity to meet him in person, to get a picture with the Hulk, to be able to hear his story is going to be worth coming to Miami. Now, that's not the only reason to come to Miami, but it's a big one because he's just awesome. And his presence really will rub off on the people that he gets to interact with. So if you can make it to Miami, we'd love to have you. If you can't make it to Miami, get yourself a virtual ticket. I can also let you know that there are going to be lots and lots of updates to Spy Rivals, to the Repricer, to Bolo Vendor, to the Prep Center. I mean, I don't want to give it away. I don't want to tell you what's coming. I will announce it at the event, but it is going to be awesome. I've been playing around with some of the new release features. Woo! They're going to be good ones, okay? So make sure that you reserve that time. Now, if you can't make it in person and you're going to watch it virtually and you can't make it live, don't worry. You get the recordings so you can watch it at your convenience. But get yourself a ticket. Stop putting it off. Stop procrastinating. If you want 2024 to be the year you want it to be, then this is one of the commitments that you want to make. And then the last point that I want to mention is that if you can understand that the difference between the people who really make it and the people who don't is the day in and day out follow through. It doesn't mean you have to work 30 or 40 or 50 hours. It's the day in and day out follow through. It's the understanding that when you are new at something, you are not going to be good at it. But we had somebody literally this week. They started on Sunday, and by Wednesday, they finally got access on Tuesday, right? They signed up on Sunday, and they got access on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, they were talking about how confusing it was. In a day. Yes, that is the correct answer. It is going to be confusing in a day, but that's okay. It's like you've all heard me talk about this. There are no babies, none, zero, that have ever been born that walked in 3 months, none. 7 to 13 months to walk. No one learns a foreign language in 3 days. No one graduates from college in 3 days. No one becomes good at anything in 3 days. So for all of our newest students, take that long-term approach. For those of you that have been in for 3 months or 6 months or a year, and you're starting to see some traction, maybe not as fast as you'd like, but you're starting to see some traction. This is a legitimate, long-term, life-changing money business, folks. That's what it is. This is a real e-commerce business that has the potential to change your life financially, but it won't change your life to where you can quit your job and retire and travel the world in 12 months. There is no business like that. So 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Some people like, they shudder. Oh my gosh, 5 years from now? Yeah, but you've been at your job for 25 years and every single year you make like a 50 cents an hour raise. I mean, put it in perspective. This is a long-term business. So the longer you focus, the more you put it out there, the more you understand and recognize that you are part of something bigger than you. The Internet Mastery community is growing towards $1 billion in sales. That's our next goal. We're currently at $170 million. Now, it's growing pretty fast, but we have $830 billion more to go to get to our first billion. And I'll just challenge you. How much of that do you want? Don't tell me all of it. You can't have all of it. But how much of it do you want? And so we're in it for the long run. You want to be in it for the long run and focus that way. The other thing that I want to share with you today is a very interesting dynamic. So about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, we made a decision to redo and reconfigure and really commit to the technology that is available in the Internet Mastery community. It's far and beyond and above anything I've ever seen for Amazon sellers. We've got it all, and it continues to get better now with all the AI that's infused in it, and the more data that we run through it, the smarter it gets. Well, in a few weeks from now, when we're in Miami, we'll be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the birth of the Internet Mastery Repricer. And this is a software tool. It's an optional tool. So if you haven't started and this is the first session you're attending and you're like, I don't even know what the repricer is, it's okay. You'll learn over time. But the repricer, I almost said that the Prep Center was the best technology we've ever built, but that repricer, I don't know. The fact is that none of it would work if we didn't have the Spy Rivals and Spy Rivals X. So I don't want to get a little battle going here, but I will tell you this. After a year of having the repricer, 11 months at this point, and going through our first holiday season with the repricer, it's incredible. It isn't incredible because I think it is. It isn't incredible because you think it is. It isn't incredible because it's at such a good monthly subscription price. It's incredible because of the results. And here's what we're doing. We're putting together some reporting that we're going to be able to share with you in Miami. We'll have the final numbers for you. But in the short run, I just wanted to tell you that what the early results of our data analysis show is that the students that implement the repricer see a 300% increase in their sales. I want to repeat that because when I saw the numbers, I was literally blown away. A 300% increase in results by utilizing the repricer. Now, whether you've seen those numbers or not in your account is not really the question yet. Because if you don't see them, it could be that you're not utilizing the repricer properly. You might not have enough inventory. You might have the wrong inventory. But when you combine doing all of the right things and then implementing the repricer, the difference in before and after sales is an increase on average of 300%. Let me see if I can show you an example of what this looks like. So see if you could check this out. In fact, let me do it this way. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I'm going to make it smaller just in case you couldn't see it that big. So I'm going to move this around here and we'll take a look. So take a look at this. So in the blue, what you can see is the user's sales before the repricer. What you can see is the user's sales before the repricer. The green shows their sales after implementing the repricer. So the blue and the green, the blue and the green. And for some people, it's just slightly more than 30% increase. For others, it's over 300%. So 3 times the numbers just simply by implementing the repricer. And my guess is that most of you that are using the repricer are not managing it properly. And that's one of the things that we're going to do a deep dive into in Miami. We're going to look at all the reporting. We're going to say, how can you leave this event in Miami, whether you're in person or watching it virtually? How can you leave at the event with the objective of doubling up in 2024? Double. 300, 3 times, that's exciting. That would be an incredible result. Maybe that's your high-end goal. But the real goal would be, how can we double? How can we go from 10,000 in our first year to 20,000? How can we go from 100,000 in our first year to 200,000? How can we go from 1.5 million in 2023 to 3 million in 2024? I can tell you personally, for me, my Amazon business from 2022 to 2023 doubled. My personal Amazon business doubled in 2023 over 2022. And my goal for 2024 is to double my Amazon business again. Now, maybe I don't hit that. Maybe I only hit 150%. Oh, poor me. Or 50%. Oh, poor me. If I hit 150%, that would be more than double, right? If I hit 50%, it's okay. Sometimes we don't hit our goal, but we get close and we do better than if we had set a lower goal in the first place. If your goal is 20% and you achieve 23%, congratulations to you, you beat your goal. But if your goal is 100% and you only hit 82%, we're sorry you're a failure for not hitting your goal, but you're still 60% higher than the person who only set it at 20%, which makes you not really a failure. It makes you a kick-ass success story. So my point in all of this is, it's not just having the technology. Most of us take the repricer, we turn it on, maybe we go back and we change it around here and there. But there are best practices that we have been implementing and studying that we've never taught about the repricer. And we have new features that are coming for with the repricer to enable you to better utilize the technology that comes from it. So all of that is going to be part of this event in February. And for those of you that are hearing about this for the first time, anything that we launch that's new or updates, new features, we always launch that in beta. So those of you that participate get that beta. And then those of you that don't, you keep using what you're using. And then once we have done all the testing and it's ready for prime time, then we release it to the general Internet Mastery community at large. So the repricer, when I saw this chart this morning, and I was like, I got to show everyone, because we know this, right? I mean, when you look at the leaderboard, I don't know if anybody has looked at this recently, but let me see if I can show you this. Hold on one second. I'm going to pull this up on my screen for you all to see, because if you haven't seen these numbers, then you might not be as blown away as I was when I saw them. Check this out. I'm going to just scroll down a little bit, and here are the repricing statistics. The repricing statistics. We've had 11 million 82,000 repricing events. 146,694 products are actively engaged in the repricer. 10,190,000 buy box wins, and an increase in sales of 429,000 sales made as a result of this repricer. Like, what are we talking about here? I mean, this is absolutely unreal numbers. They're unreal. And whenever anybody says to me, well, how do I win the buy box? I don't know. I have no idea. But I know that if I use the repricer, I'm in it all the time. So I don't know how Amazon determines it, but I know the repricer fixes it for me. And so we have access to this. Do you understand? This is something that no one else has. This is not available to anyone outside of our Internet Mastery community. So as we think about 2024, I want you to start to really plan and prioritize what you're going to do this year. And by the way, if you're new and you're not familiar with the repricer, or you've been with us for a little while and you've just not used the repricer, you can click on the left-hand side of the Internet Mastery dashboard to where it says repricer. And when you click there, I won't be able to show it to you. You click configure, I won't be able to show it to you because I have access to the repricer. However, let's see what happens if I click this. One sec here. If I click on configure, it takes me into the repricer. However, if you do not have access to the repricer, there'll be a video there so you can actually watch the video, and it will tell you a little bit about what the repricer is and how it works and what the whole process is. But here's what I want you to do, folks. You know, a few weeks ago, I put out a video that about 10% of our Internet Mastery community watched. And it was a video on 8 things you can do to get the year off to a fast start. And I wish more people would actively watch the most recent videos in the e-library. If you can't find them in Facebook, they're in the e-library. So all you really need to do is go to updates and insights, and the newest videos are at the top. And if you haven't watched them, start at the top and watch your way down. And get engaged, get familiar, become a student of this game. Soak it all in. Be a human sponge. The more you can do that, the more power there is to you. You know, at the beginning of every new year, people start off with high ambitions and high goals. At the beginning of the new year, people make commitments to get in shape and they join a gym. But the fact is that if everybody who joined the gym went to the gym, there'd be no way to get into the gym, except the gym is half empty most of the time. People make New Year's resolutions, they make commitments, and then they don't follow through. So here's what I would love to see you do. Number 1, set some goals. What do you want to achieve in 2024? What is your outcome for your output? Do you want to make your first sales? Maybe you want to sell retail arbitrage for 90 days and then get into the wholesale side of the business. You could join us in March in Las Vegas at the ASD show for our one-day event we're going to be having on March 9th. We'll talk more about that later. Maybe you join us in Las Vegas in August for our next Internet Mastery.live prior to ASD in Las Vegas. So what are your goals? Are your plans to attend all of the events that we're having virtually, or are you planning on joining us in person when the time allows? You know, the only reason that we put the virtual in place in the first place for these in-person events was because we know some people are struggling when they're starting. So the money for the flight and the hotel and the food and the travel and the ticket to the event all adds up, and they're not able to do all of that in the beginning. We understand that. So you get yourself a ticket to the virtual and you watch it live or you watch it recorded and you get the access so you can watch it over and over again. Maybe the goal is not to attend in Miami because it's too soon, but to attend in March or to attend in August. But at least commit to being there for all of the virtuals so you don't miss any of this amazing information. Maybe your goal is to attend one group coaching session every week. At the top of the Facebook group, you'll see the 5 times, it's in the banner, the 5 times of the week, which coach and what time their sessions are. They're live and they're recorded. There is no good way, unfortunately, to see the recordings of the group coaching sessions other than scrolling through the Facebook group. Now, you could always search by coach's name, and the coach's first names are in the banner at the top if you're looking for a specific coach that you want to watch their sessions for. But that's really a downfall to Facebook, but the only option there. Maybe you set a goal to create at least one prep plan every single week. One plan a week that you send to the prep center. Now, you can obviously set a goal to do one a day, 5 days a week. But the moment you only do it 4 days a week, you're going to feel like you broke your promise to yourself or missed your goals. So set a minimum goal of one package a week to the prep center and then send 2 or 3 or 4 more if that's an option for you. Maybe your goal is to go back and rewatch the Bolo videos one more time. There are 14 of them. Here's my guarantee to you. If you have already watched all 14 videos and you go back and you watch them again, you will learn something new. No matter how much you've sold on Amazon, you will learn something new. What I think is fascinating, by the way, this is just my own personal observations of the Bolo videos, is the videos get better over time. So the more we've learned about the Bolo deals and the opportunities, the better it's gotten. And episodes number 12, number 13, and number 14, I would put in the epic category. That's just my own opinion of my own videos that I've filmed. But at the end of the day, we track the views of the videos. And let's just say for a moment, I'll just pick some round numbers. Let's just say that Bolo video number 1 has been viewed 10,000 times, just to pick a number. If Bolo video number 1 has been viewed 10,000 times, Bolo video number 10 has been viewed 1,000 times. And Bolo video 11 has been viewed 800 times. And Bolo video 12 and 13 and 14 are all the way down to just 200 or 300 times. In other words, when I ask you, or I suggest to you, or I recommend to you, or your coach does the same and says, hey, you should watch all 14 videos, you're like, I have. Are you sure you have? Like, you really have? Because if you really had, and I'm not saying you haven't, most likely if you're watching this, you have, whether you're watching it live or recorded, you probably have. But at the end of the day, you can see what happens, right? People watch, and then they watch a little less, and then a little bit less. If you go back and you say, I'm going to watch all 14 of these, and I'm going to start it, and I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to slow it down. My only bit of advice to you, especially if you're new, I'll say it again. A year ago, Walmart was on the do not buy from list. Today, we buy from Walmart. So when you watch the first 2 or 3 or 4 videos, 5 videos, you'll hear me say, do not buy from Walmart. That doesn't mean you shouldn't buy from Walmart today. Right around video 11 or 12, actually, I don't remember the number, but there was a point where it all switched and Walmart became okay, so we started adding Walmart to the Bolo deals. I did not go back and re-edit out Walmart from those videos. I'm just letting you know you should ignore that part of, or that piece of the puzzle, and it's okay to do Walmart. Listen, we are here for you. This is your year. There is no doubt Internet Mastery had its best as a community, its best year in history in 2023. But it will pale in comparison to 2024. This year will hands down be the best year we have ever had as a company. The success of our students will be the highest it's ever been. The updates and the releases to the software will be the best it has ever been. By the way, the Writer AI event in Boca is sold out. The event that comes right after the Miami event, that event is sold out. We're very much looking forward to that event. We will touch a little bit on AI and how it is going to implement and integrate and influence what I believe to be the Internet Mastery community and selling on Amazon towards 2024 and beyond. But I will tell you that some of the AI tools that we are developing, the Lister AI, the Book AI, the Writer AI, they're incredible. They're absolutely incredible. You know, I've heard and read on the internet and on some posts in our group about how AI produces low-quality content from a writing perspective. Understand that AI produces content based on what you feed it. So if you feed it junk, it gives you junk. If you don't understand what you're putting in, then what you get out is not very good. It's gargled and garbage. But when you put in the highest quality of prompts and other things related to the technology, what you get out is a product that is unbelievably good. I'm just going to share that with you, that one comment, because when you start to see what's happening with AI and how it's integrated now into so many parts of our life that we don't even know about, we would be remiss if we didn't fully engage it in our Internet Mastery community. So the one thing you will always get with Internet Mastery is the future. We will always be on the cutting edge of what's next and how we can use the latest and greatest technologies to enhance our overall experience. I can tell you that in the last 24 months, what we've experienced has been nothing short of remarkable. And the next 24 months will make these last 24 months pale in comparison. So I'm excited that you're all part of it. I'm grateful to be in this community with you. This is going to be an amazing year. And I'm happy now to take some questions and see if anybody's got any comments or things they'd like to share. This is your time now. I spend the last few minutes of every one of these sessions. You don't have to ask me a question specific to anything you would like me to ask or me to answer, please ask. I will say at the top of when you are in this Facebook Live, if you're attending live, at the top somewhere in the post, it should say grant eCam access. If you don't click that, I can't see your name in the question, but if you click it, I'm able to see it. You only have to do it once and then I can see it forever. So let me take a look here and see. Please feel free to post your questions. Thank you to everybody. So many Happy New Years. Happy, healthy New Year. It's going to be a great year. Let's see. I think I've answered all of the questions that have been asked so far. Let's see. Have I decided which hotel the February IM event will be in Miami? Yes, I have. I announced that 6 weeks ago and then 5 weeks ago and then 4 weeks ago. It's posted in the Facebook group. If you just type in the word Miami in a search in the Facebook group, the hotel comes up, the room block comes up. I don't even know if there's any rooms left in the room block. You can have to check at this point. We're just a few weeks to go until the event. But yes, the event in Miami, the hotel venue has been out now for a month and a half or so. Yes, I have decided that. Now, for those of you that are coming to the Writer AI event in Boca, you will have to make your way up from Miami to Boca. There is no room block. There is no hotel. You can stay wherever you want. The event will take place at our corporate office. So we're going to be holding the Writer AI event in the office in Boca, and that's going to be pretty awesome. So let's see. Low content journals, notebooks, medium content, coloring books and puzzle books, high content fiction, nonfiction books. All categories can be high quality products. Sure. Yeah. Okay. I agree with you. Great. That's true. That's 100% true. But the better the content, the better the quality, the better the output. All stems from the better the input. Remember, what you put in is what you get out. You can put in a little and get out a lot. And understanding what's happening. This AI is changing so fast that by the time we got from Boca in December to Boca in February, it's all changed. It's just different. And so it isn't just about knowing what to do. It's about understanding the changes and being ahead of the curve and then utilizing technology to impact all of it. It's awesome. It's just an exciting time. It's so much better than like nothing ever changing. How boring would that be? So much to learn. And hey, look, anyone who wants to teach themselves and learn it on their own, we support that too. We support everyone doing it the way that they want to do it. For me, it's just about suggestions. That's it. That's all my role is I just give you suggestions and then you get to choose how you run your own business. Isn't that empowering? It's very, very powerful. All right, let's take a look and see. Somebody said AI changes daily. I think AI changes hourly, to be honest. I mean, it just changes so fast. It doesn't change as fast as crypto changes. By the way, watch and see what happens with crypto in the next week. Just watch what happens with crypto in the next week. For those of you that have been actively following crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., since we've been talking about it, have seen a pretty massive growth. If you've been with us for a year, A year ago, Bitcoin, well, I'll say this. Since last year to today, Bitcoin is up 300%. Now, we were all alive a year ago. 300%. How much Bitcoin did you buy a year ago? I'm just asking the question. So do we get a hint of what will be new at the Miami event? No, of course not. Everything is new. Everything as you understand it and you know it changes. And yet it's all the same. It's exactly what you think it is, and it's totally different. I'll just read something to you. I sent a message to our developer, our head developer, and I said to him, I'll just tell you what I said. I said, hold on. I said, can I see the latest updates? He said, sure. So he sent me over some of the things that they've been working on, some of the suggestions I'd made, some of the things that we'd all been talking about internally. And then he said to me, by the end of the month, great news, amazing things are coming. All the things that we talked about will be available. That's all I can tell you. And here's the thing, folks. You shouldn't come to Miami for any of that. See, that's the irony of it all. All of that is a bonus. Meeting Lou Ferrigno and interacting with the Incredible Hulk, that's a bonus. Hanging out with me for a few days, that's a bonus. Learning more about Spy Rivals and updates and repricer, that's all a bonus. I don't want to disappoint you. So don't come for any of that. Come for the social interaction and experience of sitting down with people just like you and being in a room of seriously fired up, motivated people with a common goal. And let that propel you forward. That's what drives this business. It's that camaraderie, that friendship, and that competitiveness that comes out. It's seeing people in the room that are just like you, that have had the same experiences that you've had, and then all of a sudden you're at the next level because you're following what you're learning from your fellow students. That networking is the single best reason to attend the event. Don't come for any of the other reasons. Although all the other reasons will be phenomenal, that's why I think you should come to Miami. All right, let's see. Let's see. If you didn't see folks, let me just tell you something. If y'all are not following me on YouTube and Instagram, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's 2024. Set a commitment to follow me on Instagram and YouTube. I can't figure out, sometimes I post, like I posted this little joke yesterday. I posted another one today. And some of you just comment and laugh and share it all the time. But most of you, it's like radio silence. You should follow and and laugh and share. I mean, it's just stay connected. Just doesn't cost anything. Just stay connected. All right. Any other final questions that we have as we wrap up our first Internet Mastery episode number 1 of 2024 that I can answer for you? So there's always it's funny, there's always lots of questions that people have all week long. And then when I ask the questions, I get 2. That's all good. What is the restock recommendation on the dashboard? On the dashboard, that gives you an idea of how many you might want to consider resending back to Amazon. Restock is resend, and it's a recommendation based on how many you've sold, how fast they've sold, and recommending how many more you might want to consider rebuying and resending in. The biggest downside to retail arbitrage is a lot of the items you bought on sale, clearance, or closeout, particularly in November, December, are either sold out or you can't get that price anymore. So at some point in time in 2024, you should make a commitment that you're going to start to move into the wholesale side of the business. And then the other thing that I would recommend you do at least once in your life is I would buy a pallet full of stuff, like about 700 pounds worth, and ship it to your house. Just once. That's all. Just once. Just get a 700-pound pallet worth of product from a wholesaler and ship it to your house. Come on, you got this. Let us know how it goes. It'd be very exciting to see that happen. So let's see. Amazon does not have your best interests in mind. I'm not sure. Mark, Amazon does not. I don't understand that comment. So if you want to rephrase the comment, I'll be happy to answer your comment. But we're not interested in what Amazon wants. We're not interested in what Amazon thinks. All we're interested in is selling on Amazon and making money from Amazon. So I didn't understand the question or the comment. All right. So that's all I've got for you today, folks. Hey, listen, once again, happy and healthy new year to our entire coaching team, our entire support team, our entire Internet Mastery community team, our Prep Center team, everybody who makes Internet Mastery work. It works because you work it. And if you focus on your 2024 plan, it's going to be an amazing year. So hopefully I will see you in Miami, either in person or virtually. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care. Bye.